everybody. Welcome into the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. It is a Wednesday. That means only one thing. It's time now for Supernatural News and Parashare. And with that, I need a co-host. Notice I didn't say co-hostess. That means we bring back the one, the only, the Combat Rev himself. I need some forehead smoochies.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thank you so much. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Thorpe. Hi, sir.
Hi. How are you doing, Tim?
Good. I'm in my birthday hangover mode. I guess I am. A little bit coming down. I've tried. I know I haven't succeeded, but I've tried to say thank you to everybody on social media who said happy birthday to me. I think I maybe failed by about 50 to 100. So I'm only out of the almost 1,200 that have said happy birthday to me.
It is the only downside of being so popular.
If I were that popular, I would have had a hell of a lot more than 12. No, I'm kidding. I'm being narcissistic. No, but I want to say thank you to, first of all, thank you to everyone who took the time out to say happy birthday to me. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much. It does this old man good to know that somebody cares. So
Did you do anything fun with your new slushie maker?
Oh, I did get a slushie machine for I did. Let's see, the flavors I've experimented with and not falling into a coma include A&W root beer. I did that. I did a combination of, what was the combo we did that one night? It was caramel apple. So it was caramel soda and apple soda.
Oh, wow.
Together. Oh, my God. That was so good.
Here, I thought you were going to say like Monster and pickle juice or something.
Ew, God, no. I'm not a monster. Ew. No. Now, for everybody who doesn't know, and I haven't really talked about this on air, I've been wanting a slushie machine for the longest time. I just, again, simple pleasures. But that's all I've wanted in life is a slushie machine. So, and I got one. So I'm a happy camper.
Now you got to set the bar higher.
Yeah, I know, right? I really do. I don't have very many wants in life. So yeah, I do. I should have said harem. But I went slushie machine. But I've done, I've done the Coke, the Mexican Coke slushie. Oh, Mexican Coke slushie. I tell you, if you ever want to get your blood sugar up to that point where you want to see God, that's it right there. Mexican Coke slushie. Nothing will get you to 800 to 1,000 like a Mexican Coke slushie. Our
slushie to you with real sugar cane and a little bit of cocaine.
Right. Let's see, what do I have in the hopper? I've got upstairs, I've got grape knee-high, I've got cherry, I've got banana soda I'm going to try.
Nice.
Yeah, but these are all, you got to stagger these, of course, because these are treats. They're not, everyday thing. I don't wake up in the morning and go, slushy. It's a treat. So
that might be a really fun way to deliver medication to kids that don't want to take it.
Yes. Yeah. Put it in their slushy. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's your penicillin.
Yeah. Right. Oh, bubblegum. Bazooka bubblegum soda. We did a bubblegum slushy one night.
Nice.
Oh, that was really good. That was tasty.
That with like a cotton candy or something like that.
Oh. I'm telling you, and if you did like an orange soda and a vanilla soda and you put them together, you could do a cream, like a dreamsicle.
Oh,
I'm telling you, you can get dangerous with it. I still haven't done an alcoholic slushy yet. I'm probably going to do that one weekend when I don't want to see the other side of the weekend. I'll probably do that.
You know what would probably be pretty dangerous in there? I only did this at a pagan festival once where I allowed myself to just get sloshed. Mm-hmm. And it was a 50-50 mix between, was it Kraken, which is the is that Captain Morgan? I can't remember. But it was their Kraken, right?
Okay.
And root beer. And you do a 50-50 mix between the two of them. That is dangerous.
Now, when I was in college, there was a concoction contraption named Swamp Water. And I just know it was green. And I'm going to figure out how to make it. And I'm going to make it into a slushy form. Someone knows what it's made out of. I'm sure they'll email me and tell me what it is.
Probably some like handed down recipe of a grog, you know?
Yeah, well, I know there's Blue Hawaii in it or whatever it is. It's or, you know, that blue mixture, and then you put in a little, you know, there's stuff in it.
A little bit of Hawaiian Punch, a little bit of Sunny D.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, but yeah, it was so good. It was and it just got you schnockered. I mean, you were just out on your feet. You drank one of these, and because I if I remember right, I think there was triple sec in it. There was vodka in it. There's probably about 4 or 5 different liquors in it. But it was a potent punch, right?
Wow.
And I just remember drinking it and thinking, I can't move off my stool. And I drank a lot of it that night. And I thought, this is good. I like this. Wakif was the name of our bartender at Max's in Winona. This is a long time ago. And I asked Wakif, I was like, what's in it? And he's like, I don't know, buddy. I have no idea. I have no idea what I put in this. I'm like, how can you not know what you put in it? He's like, I don't know, buddy. It was a bunch of stuff behind the bar. I just take and I put stuff in it and I call it a swamp water.
Yeah, it's all of the rail liquor that's like right at the bottom of the bottle and don't know what to do with it yet.
Yeah. It's like, it's a recipe I got from a book. I'm like, okay. Well, where's the recipe? I don't know, buddy. Everything was, I don't know, buddy. I don't know, buddy. He didn't want to tell anybody because, you know, he wanted to make it an exclusive to the bar. So you had to come to him to get it.
That's great.
He didn't want you making it at home, so you wouldn't come to him. So,
man, the only time I've been like blackout drunk was my 21st birthday in the Army. And my platoon took me out to Aggieville in Manhattan, Kansas. And we went to Pat's Blue Ribbon. And they had a fish bowl that you could buy. And it was like $110 for this drink. And they had an aquarium. And they took like 6 bottles of rail liquor, poured it in there with a bunch of fruit punch, and throw like 20 to 30 straws in this thing. And it's supposed to be like a 15-man drink. We went through 2 of them that night.
That sounds like the Nankin Punch. You remember the Nankin Punch? Have you ever had the Nankin Punch downtown?
No, I haven't.
That sounds like a Nankin Punch, except for the Nankin is tailored for one, obviously. But I mean, the Nankin Punch is about the same thing. It's just got like 6 different liquors in it and fruit punch, and you just drink till you're blind.
I just remember being so drunk that I was begging them to put me in Bowden's bathtub because I didn't want to throw up on his bed. And I'm in the bathroom and I'm face down in the drain. And Bowden comes crawling into his own bathroom next to me, and he's hucking into the toilet. And I was like, you got to call my wife. I got formation tomorrow, and I don't want to be late. You got to call her, let her know I'm okay. He's like, I got you, battle buddy. And he pulls open his phone, dials my wife's number, and he goes, hey, just want to let you know, Thorpe is in my bathtub right now. He's drunk. And she goes, I know, Bowden. That was the plan. Good night, Bowden. He goes, okay, good night. And he hangs up his phone. And this is back in the Motorola Razors, right? Yeah. So he flips it shut and throws it in the toilet and flushes the toilet.
No.
I'll never forget that.
Oh.
And then she showed up in the morning with like 5 other guys from my unit to come carry us to a vehicle because we already missed 2 formations. And they hand me a Gatorade to rehydrate, and it was fruit punch flavored. Oh. And as soon as that touched my tongue, just whoop, right over the railing onto a family downstairs eating breakfast. Oh. It was,
put that on your waffles.
Yeah, very embarrassing time. Not proud of it. That's why I'm not a drinker.
Fruit punch flavored. You know that had to be a rib, right? That just
I just remember standing in formation the next day, and my uniform was like discombobulated.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I should have had it handed to me because I already missed 2 formations.
Yeah.
And my staff sergeant just looks at me and he's like, "You have a good time?" And I'm like, yes, staff sergeant. It's still just hammered drunk still the next day.
Oh.
And then he walks away. And this was a guy that would punish you for sneezing the wrong direction. And that was the worst punishment ever because I was so paranoid about this punishment that was coming that never happened.
I bet. That's the worst. The worst punishment is the one you never get, right? The one you expect is coming and never does. Oh, that's the ultimate mind screw, right? Unbelievable. Well, we got a busy program here, so we should probably jump to it. But yes, thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. It's greatly appreciated. And onward and forward with year 29. I am so excited for year 29. So there you go. Sure. Jess paid me a good compliment on there. She was like, "You look really young." I'm like, "According to who?" And I'm going to get your glasses changed.
Wait, was she saying you look 29?
Not 29, no. But she paid me a compliment saying I looked a hell of a lot younger than I am.
I'd put you at 32.
Boy, I'm going to get you a pair of glasses too for saying that. Big show today, Trav. Here's the deal. We got plenty of interstellar news today.
Ooh.
Including coming up here in just a moment, a story about USOs. And the fact that the Navy is lending them some credence. So we'll talk about that. There's a weird Mars rock out there that looks like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter. I figured you want to take a shot at that today.
What?
Yeah. You can now buy a robot for $6,000. We'll tell you about that. That ought to get your undies in a bunch today. We'll talk Conjuring House. You can now book it. It's available. And we'll talk about the Conjuring movie. There's something unusual about the Conjuring movie that I'll tell you about. I don't know that I'd rush and go see it this next week.
Oh.
Because I'll tell you something. I tried to get a screener for it. You can't do it. Which tells me that it isn't going to be very good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Well, nothing could be worse than Ghost Ship, so.
Well, don't say that. Don't say that. Mothman Festival is set to return to Point Pleasant next month. We've got a preview for you today. And an interesting story coming up a little bit later today. The location where Jesus healed the blind is found. Was it found by a blind man? We'll let you know. All kinds of humor behind that story today. But seriously, archaeologists in Jerusalem claim they found the exact place where the biblical miracle took place. We'll talk about that today. And for your palate cleanser today, a man who's unable to sleep for 2 years is desperate for answers. Bro, sleep aids. Just saying.
Yeah, put the cocaine down.
Yeah, right. It's real simple, you know. But we'll tell you why he hasn't slept for 2 years. That's coming up at the end of the program. But first, enough with the teasing already. A Navy officer says underwater UFOs or USOs are legit threats. And the evidence is hard to ignore. Some of the most credible encounters with non-human aircraft have happened over the world's oceans, and now witnesses want answers. Now this, believe it or not, this article, Trav, was in Popular Mechanics.
That doesn't surprise me. Look, more and more people are starting to accept this as a mainstream reality.
Yeah.
It's not so fringe anymore.
Yeah. In mid-2014, during training flights off the coast of Virginia Beach, Virginia, FA-18 pilot and U.S. Navy Lieutenant Ryan Graves began to notice something strange. The radar returns looked off, phantom blips moving with unfathomable speed and precision. At first, he dismissed it as a glitch, but then anomalies returned, recorded by the fighter jet's sophisticated sensors. They would hover in place and then dart away at supersonic speeds. They were recorded from the ocean's surface at 40,000 feet, sometimes stationary, 0.0 Mach, other times 250 to 350 knots, sometimes even supersonic, 1.1 to 1.2 Mach, all altitudes and always over the ocean, Graves said. After appearing only as glitches on the jet's radar, the objects on one occasion finally came into view. Graves reported seeing a dark gray or black cube inside a clear sphere between 5 and 15 feet in diameter, coming within 50 feet of their jets. That was the turning point, Graves says. We started treating it as a safety issue. Over the next year, Graves' squadron recorded sightings of the unidentified objects almost daily. Sometimes the objects flew in loose formations. Other times they traveled alone. They had no exhaust, no visible propulsion, no wings. Sometimes the object would rotate in place. Others vanished when approached. As it turned out, pilots stationed off the West Coast on missions aboard the USS Nimitz, the USS Princeton, and other carriers had been experiencing similar things for years. Some of these craft, now classified as UAPs or unidentified anomalous phenomena, appeared to be capable of transmedium travel, meaning they're able to move from air to sea without slowing, splashing, or emitting heat. They challenged every assumption led by aerospace engineers and radar operators. Graves doesn't claim to know what the objects were, but one thing was clear. This wasn't business as usual, he says. There was a serious issue at play. It wasn't just one rogue object. It wasn't just us on the East Coast. It wasn't just my squadron. It was a pattern. This was global. Since at least the 1950s, military sources have reported strange objects plunging into the ocean, what they call USOs, or unidentified submerged objects. These phenomena exhibit characteristics that conflict with our understanding of physics and maritime navigation. As radar and similar technologies have advanced, so have the number of sightings. Today, Graves is one of the most vocal advocates for UAP transparency. Now retired from the military, he is the founder for Americans for Safe Aerospace, the largest UAP-focused pilot safety initiative in the world. And he works with former Pentagon and naval officials to push for greater transparency. He doesn't claim that these craft are alien, but he's certain that they aren't using known human tech. Where that leaves us opens up options: extraterrestrial visitors, time travelers, breakaway civilizations, things that challenge the status quo and aren't easily accepted at face value, he says. Rear Admiral Tim, I believe it is Gallaudet, who is a PhD and an oceanographer, was one of the first to view footage from the UAP incidents in 2015 involving fighter jets attached to the USS Theodore Roosevelt, which at the time was conducting training exercises off the coast of Florida. Two videos captured by Navy fighter jets that were made public in 2020 show strange craft flying at incredible speeds with no visible means of propulsion, sometimes rotating in midair. I knew then that what I had seen was not our technology. We don't test experimental aircraft in training ranges. It's too dangerous. And I had access to everything classified. No nation has craft that can move like that, he said. Gallaudet, who's now retired from the Navy and currently the CEO of Ocean STL Consulting, is pushing for the U.S. government to treat these phenomena as a national research priority. Despite some public disclosures, many records remain classified, buried within defense contractor vaults or shielded by national security exemptions. If even part of what's being reported is true, then the encounters off Virginia, California, and elsewhere could be the opening chapter in a much deeper mystery, one that spans oceans, navies, and continents. This spring, Graves and Gallaudet briefed officials in Washington, D.C. on unidentified submerged objects. We're at a unique moment in history, Graves said. People have access to tools that can reveal things, and the momentum is building. It's an interesting article. There's a little bit more to it, but they're just saying that the possibility that these exist underwater is very real, and that they could come from another galaxy.
It is not the first time I've heard that. I believe that there is a lot in our ocean that we're just completely unaware of, right? Mm-hmm. They've always said we know more about space than we do our own ocean.
Yep.
Because space is so much more observable, right? So it would not surprise me. We go back to all the great Diluvian stories of the great floods and the cults of Dagon and all these civilizations that were brought up. It all points back to those stories of Atlantis, right? Mm-hmm. A breakaway civilization that is so far advanced that is under our ocean, right? That in times of catastrophe surface and rebuild civilization on the surface, right? So mm-hmm. If that story seems to be prevalent and multiple civilizations separated through time and geographic space, there might be some truth to that story.
Yeah. Well, Galladay is saying he believes that they're resting basically on the seafloor, that they're making camp almost on the seafloor and waiting, like you said, just waiting.
That's pretty wild to think about.
Yeah. Which, which kind of brings up scenarios that make you think, right?
Do we have another great Diluvian flood about to happen?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Why are we seeing them?
Yeah. Why now? Right. Why? I mean, when you start putting things together, right? I mean, the wild weather patterns, things that are happening in the world. Are we at that point in the Earth's history where maybe they know something's going on with our world? Maybe they know based on Earth cycles that maybe we've come to a point in the Earth's history where something like this is supposed to happen.
That it's just a cyclic event that's about to happen again. Yeah. And they're surveying the area and saying, okay, where are we going to restart this again?
Yeah. Yeah. And if so, I don't want to say they're not necessarily here to pick bones, but maybe they're here to observe and document, or, maybe they're here to mine resources, or maybe they're here to do whatever,
Yeah, it would be interesting if we were nothing more than like a controlled experiment where they're just watching our growth. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh, they're at this point again. Oh, they didn't quite make the mark of last time.
Yeah. 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 Wouldn't that be interesting?
Let's see if we make these minor adjustments when they restart, if in 5,000 years they can get there again.
Yeah. 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 But to think
that's where I go back to the boogosphere, man.
So you did say you thought the boogosphere came from the ocean.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the reason being too was about how it reacted to heat and how it reacted specifically to water.
Yeah.
And how they were pouring water on it and it would like instantly kind of like evaporate and kind of suck into it. Mm-hmm. It had all these pores all the way around it. It only seemed to disable when it hit a high voltage power line.
Yep.
Which I had said, indicated that it probably didn't come from space then, because there's so much of that interference out there that if a high voltage line disabled it, then that means it probably came from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't believe it's something that came from one of our own governments, or this would already be a project. This would already be something that we're aware of.
Right.
Right.
And so, it would have been swept under the rug long ago and you wouldn't be hearing about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And with all the other governments that are interested in it, that are taking interest in it, with all the other human languages that are on there, along with this suspected sci-fi language,
Yeah.
it would indicate that maybe there is some truth to that great Diluvian Dagon story of this Atlantean society underneath the water that is there to guide, not to protect, not to be our benevolent benefactors, but like, hey, young kids, here's the blueprint to society. Don't screw it up. And then they disappear. They go out for milk and they don't come back. And then we have abandonment issues.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That I mean, to me, that makes a lot of sense. I know it doesn't to some people, but it does to me. Right. I mean, you know, we should have always realized that we're meant to be a society that's meant to be on our own and find our way, that there are no space daddies out there that are coming to save us or take care of us. Right. But for some reason, there's a segment of the population that thinks that there are these space mommy and daddies that are coming to save us. And I don't know why. I've never felt like that's a true story.
You know, like I used to tell my students all the time, like, I'm not the guy to shit in your Wheaties, right? I'm not the one that's going to tell you that your idea is wrong. You know, when they would say like, oh, I believe in aliens and stuff, I know that sounds weird. And I would go, I believe in fairies and ghosts, you know, like, why couldn't I believe in that? Who's to say that all of that doesn't exist, right? A breakaway society in our own ocean. Maybe the reason that we aren't experiencing so many of these sky daddies or as many of them or as much interaction is maybe they recognize whatever is in the ocean as being the, you know, progenitors of this world. Yeah. And it's not their place. You know, they're guests here. And so they're kind of a little hands off, but still a little proby and coming in and investigating and interacting a little bit here and there and a little bit of trade and commerce, if you would. Right. But not like just coming in and setting a foothold because it's not their home. Or,
hear me out, interstellar gang lines. Right. Cross into one's territory, you might get shot.
Yep. Yep. Dude, I think it is entirely all possible, you know, and I know I had this conversation with somebody recently on the phone too. Like we were talking about that interstellar object that was heading our way. And I know you and I have talked about this a few times on the show recently too. Mm-hmm. My thought goes back to like, what if it is extraterrestrial, but it is not super advanced? What if that's that breakaway civilization's like first interstellar travel vehicle, which is why it's taking so long, which is why we're able to observe it for so long, because so many of these others that we see, it's like instant, right? It's almost like it just breaks through space and time and just punches a hole through the fabric of the universe and is here. Where that would be like if in 100 years we developed our first mothership to go explore deep space, and 380 years later, you know, there it is, and it's coming towards somebody else's system. I think all of the cards are at play. I have no reason to poo-poo in any of it yet. Everything's possible. It's all plausible.
I hear you. We won't go over that again. I tend to be a little more skeptical as far as that goes. Considering Avi Loeb and the source and how often he swings and misses, I tend to be a little more skeptical, but that's just me. Speaking of, let's get into some of those more skeptical subjects. A mystery disc-shaped object is spotted in Antarctica on Google Maps. The eagle-eyed Google Earth sleuths that have discovered this strange disc-like object on the Antarctic ice are weighing in. Anomaly hunters have spotted some unusual things on satellite images over the years, and this latest example, which looks like a dark saucer-like disc half embedded in the ice, is no exception. Situated 90 miles from the coast of Antarctica, it can be found at, if you're ready for this, I don't know if I'm reading this right, but is it? I don't think this is minus 66, or it could be 66 degrees, 16. Wait, here. I'm just going to show you on here.
I think it's time to pull up Google Earth.
Is it time to pull up Google Earth? Is it 66 degrees? It says 16. Is that foot? 16 feet, 24.5. It looks like inches south. I don't know. I don't know how to read a map or read map directions.
Latitude and longitude.
Yeah, latitude, longitude. Is that so? That'd be 16 latitude, 24.5 longitude south, and then 100 degrees, 59 latitude, 3.5 longitude east. I can show you what the picture looks like here. This is what they're looking at right here. That's what they think is a saucer stuck inside the
Interesting.
Yeah. They seem to think that this is, and I get why they think it's a saucer stuck inside some ice. It's and I tell you what, I'll post the article inside the description of this program so you can take a look for yourself. It's located around 45 miles from Mill Island and 6 miles from the A.B. Dobrowski. Let me say that again. Dobro. Look at me not being able to read today. Dobrowolski Polar Station. I'm sure he knows how to pronounce his own name, Travis.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Of course, given its distinctive disc shape, it didn't take long for social media users to begin suggesting that it's some sort of crashed UFO, perhaps a bit like something out of The Thing. But is it really as it seems is the question. Zooming out, the angle is a little misleading. It is possible that the disc is actually an area of shadow or a rock formation that just happens to look circular from above, according to Professor Beth Ann Davies, a glaciologist at the University of Newcastle. The most likely explanation is that it is in fact a small lake of water situated within a rock basin. There is a small patch of snow, and the warmer lake water has a lower albedo, so it absorbs more solar radiation, she told Mail Online. This is melting the snow, giving it a smaller semicircular arc, and it's not a UFO, she claims. Oh, now I see it. Okay, yeah. It's just snow on a mountain. I get it. I'll post the picture so you can see it for yourself.
Somebody just took an angle on it that was a little flattering to make it look like that.
Yeah, it's just your mind playing tricks on you is what it is.
Nothing to see here, people.
Nothing to see here.
It's just a weather balloon.
That's right. Our next story has to do with the question of could accidental awareness be explaining alien abduction experiences? Interesting question.
Oh, yeah, that got my attention.
Yeah, researchers have suggested that a particular medical situation could account for some alien abduction cases. Now, most stories of alien abduction tend to follow a similar narrative, with the abductee being brought aboard an extraterrestrial vessel and subjected to various procedures and tests. Some will recall, either naturally or through hypnosis, the experience of looking up while lying on some sort of medical bed to see strange figures leaning over them with unidentifiable medical apparatus. But what if there was a conventional explanation for such recollections? Some experts believe that something known as accidental awareness might be to blame. This is a term to describe a situation in which a medical patient wakes up during a surgical procedure, which I've done, because the anesthetic has inadvertently worn off. A patient in this scenario might experience something similar or very similar to alleged alien abductees waking up on a medical bed with strange figures leaning over them with medical instruments in their hands. Some researchers believe the memories of such experiences might resurface in later life and be mistaken for an alien abduction experience, especially under hypnosis. For some, the memories might be triggered by other traumatic events. That said, while this could certainly explain some abduction experiences, It certainly doesn't work in the case of abductees who have never undergone an operation. So in other words, if you've never undergone an operation, never woke up on a table before, and been abducted, you couldn't apply this scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've woken up on the table, yet I've never had an alien abduction experience. So I've had the opposite. So I've never, I can't say that, it's just, I get where you're trying to put two and two together. You're trying to force a square peg in a round hole, trying to make it all work. But
I've only had the opportunity to in person talk to one abductee, and that was Travis Walton.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
I don't want to share, too much of the personal interaction part. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is Paradigm Symposium.
Yep.
If you remember that.
Yep.
I was head of security for that, and Scotty asked me to go pick up Travis at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally put my foot in my mouth, not knowing who he was or anything about that, because I didn't care, whatever. I was like, just picking up another person for the, whatever. Right. And I rolled down the window and I was like, Travis? And he goes, yeah. Are you Travis? And I was like, yep. Travis, doctor, whatever. Right. He gets in. And I said, so what's your shtick? And he goes, huh? Excuse me? I was like, what is it, like fucking aliens or what?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, my God. I felt like such an asshole. And like as a prior combat vet, I watched this man go through a very real PTSD episode in front of me when I did that. And he shared some very personal things with me on that car ride from MSP to the event. And what I can tell you as a behavioral detection instructor, I'm an expert in human body language. And I will tell you, I believe everything he says.
Yeah.
There is no way this man is making anything up.
Yeah.
I truly believe it. So yep. I don't know if he's gone through, surgeries and stuff like that they would try to apply that to him, but I will fight anyone that says he's BS. I will fight you. I will punch you in the throat. That man is telling the truth. That man is absolutely an abductee. Yeah. He has a very real lived experience, and I will back him up 100% every time.
Yeah. 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 He and I've hung out with him at a few different events. Incredibly nice man, incredibly funny man. That's for sure. Had you not known that he had been abducted by aliens or seen his story on television or on film, you'd never know. I mean, you just wouldn't. But it's like the minute he starts talking about that experience, it's a switch that gets flipped. And like you said, he's completely different. He's a very charming man, very, very warm, affable man. But just the minute he starts talking about it, it's a whole, trauma does that to a lot of people. It just changes their very core, and it changes his core. And you can tell.
Yeah. I regret so bad being me when I said that. Yeah. It was my stupid comedic timing.
Yeah. No, there was a whole bunch of us who got together for the whole, when I say whole bunch of us, there's probably 20 or 25 of us that went to dinner in Gettysburg one year. And he was holding court at the table. He was just holding court. And I mean, one joke after another out of his mouth. And I'm like, where is this coming? This is the abductee that's, slinging jokes. I was like, hey, go Travis, right?
Right.
And you're like, but we're all human, right? We all have our ups and downs. We all have our, we all have our jokes. We all have our, we've all had our moments in life. But man, he was on a roll, and he had the entire table enthralled. And I thought, good for you. Right? I mean, we're not defined by our negative experiences or we're not defined by those moments in life. But you know what? When people walk by his table, that's what they define him by.
Right.
Is that moment, and that, unfortunately, there's times where I go, you know what? I'm kind of defining him by that moment right now when I think about that.
Yeah. Well, and where I casually threw out that kind of quip is because we had like Randall Carlson there. We had, like Lon Milo Duquette, so like, what are you, a Kabbalist? Are you a geologist? Like what's your thing? And being funny, I was like, ooh, fucking aliens, not knowing this is the most famous story of it. Oh man.
So you stepped in it. That's funny though. It is funny. I'm sure he had a sense of humor about it. He does have a very rich sense of humor, so I'm sure he had a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's classic foot and mouth. Well, let's move on to our next story. An interstellar visitor shows signature of industrial production. I have a feeling this might be, in fact, I know it's referring to something you referred to earlier. Is it or is it not an extraterrestrial? New spectroscopic data from observations of the object have hinted that it might be artificially constructed. Travis, you may be getting your way. The object known as 3I Atlas was first revealed on July 1st following its discovery by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, a robotic astronomical survey which uses multiple telescopes to scan the night sky for small near-Earth objects. Believed to be, or measure rather, 12 miles across, the object is heading towards the inner solar system at 52,000 miles per hour. While many scientists believe that 3I Atlas is likely to be a comet, others, such as Harvard's Professor Avi Loeb, maintain that it could be, in fact, under intelligent extraterrestrial control. Now, a new paper analyzing spectroscopic data recorded by the Very Large Telescope, that's not, by the way, an original name, VLT, the Very Large Telescope. They could have named it something. Take a cue from NASCAR and get a sponsorship, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on.
This telescope brought to you by Vaseline. Yeah,
Tide will sponsor it. I mean, come on, they sponsor everything. I mean, it's Procter & Gamble, Moon Stars, go get it sponsored. Jesus Christ. I mean, even Jesus will sponsor it. Come on. The Very Large Telescope has highlighted a peculiar anomaly in the plume of gas surrounding the object. Most notably, it seems to contain nickel but not iron, which, according to Loeb, is something you would typically expect to see in the industrial production of nickel alloys. Natural comets generically show iron and nickel simultaneously, as both elements are produced together in the ejecta of supernova explosions, he wrote. Is this anomaly another clue for a possible technological origin of 3I Atlas? The paper suggests chemical formation through the nickel carbonyl channel, which is an extremely rare and exotic possibility in comets, whereas it is a standard technology for industrial nickel refining.
I'm crossing my fingers for Space Orcs.
The question there then is, so could this be further evidence that 3I Atlas was artificially constructed? Well, on the one hand, I would be pleased if 3I Atlas turned out to be a CO2-rich comet, implying that humanity is not at risk from alien technology, Loeb wrote. But on the other hand, humanity desperately needs a wake-up call to avoid self-destruction, is what he also wrote.
I love it. I love it. I'm getting my way. I'm going to rub my nipples now, Tim.
I honestly, again, I still think it's a comet. Although there's again the talk that they may turn the Jupiter satellites on it, and and get a closer look at it just to make sure, and that it wouldn't be a big deal because it's already run its mission, it's run its course. So it's not a big deal. It wouldn't be any extra cost. Well, it would be extra cost, but it wouldn't be any huge extra cost to do so. I say do it if it's not going to be any big deal, just to get a good look at it. And if anything, you can pull extra information off of it too, right? And, extra study.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
more eyes on the SpaceWorks so that we can prepare for the inevitable battle.
I mean, if we study comets that much closer, who cares? I mean, at least we know what they're made of, right? So I'm all for it. Because I think that's all it is a comet. All right, our next story. Dark matter could turn giant planets into tiny black holes. That's what she said. Dark matter accumulating in the cores of particularly large planets could help us to finally confirm its existence. The precise nature of dark matter and dark energy, which are thought to account for up to 96% of the observable universe, remains one of the most important unsolved mysteries in modern physics. Despite concerted efforts, astronomers have been unable to observe dark matter directly because it does not absorb, emit, or reflect any electromagnetic radiation, thus making it impossible to see. Now, scientists have highlighted a particularly disturbing, though potentially very helpful, consequence of dark matter: the complete collapse of a giant planet into a black hole. I don't know if you've ever had a prolapsed black hole before. But by gosh, you just one visit to the doctor, they'll fix that for you real quick.
I've never had a prolapsed black hole, but I think I've caused a few.
Something, ladies, it's just a little bit of lubricant. That'll help real quick. According to one theoretical model, dark matter, is that what you've nicknamed it, dark matter?
Well, we've always just called him Mr. Sprinkles.
Mr. Sprinkles. According to one theoretical model, Mr. Sprinkles can potentially accumulate in the core of a large planet and cause it to collapse into tiny black holes that would then feed on the surrounding material. I didn't know it could feed. That's talent right there. If such an object could be found, it would help to prove dark matter's existence once and for all. If the dark matter particles are heavy enough and don't annihilate, they may eventually collapse into a tiny black hole, astrophysicist Mirdad Fortan Mir told Science Alert. I bet you he doesn't get very many birthday cards. It's a hard name to write out. This black hole could then grow and consume the entire planet, turning into a black hole with the same mass as the original planet. That's not very nice to say, is it?
I mean, the more I'm hearing this, it's just reminding me of my search history.
Giant black holes. Looking for giant black holes. This outcome, and this is the last line of the story, and I swear we'll move on. This outcome is only possible under the super heavy non-annihilating dark matter model. Again, is that part of your search history? I don't know. Can we look up super heavy crushing black hole, please? Well, I promised you a story about a weird Mars rock that looked like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter, so here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are you into the Harry Potter?
Are you kidding? Who are you talking to? Of course.
Here's what the rock looks like.
Oh my God.
There you go.
If I put that on top of my head, is it going to put me in House Slytherin? That's all I need to know.
Well, it's only one way to find out. You're going to have to take a trip to Mars.
Let's go.
Unless they bring it back.
I got a credit card.
I've got a credit card. Unless you get in tight with Elon, that's the only way you're going to get up there. A peculiar rock spotted in a photograph on the surface of Mars has prompted some tongue-in-cheek speculation. The rock, which was picked up on camera by NASA's Perseverance rover in Jezero crater earlier this month certainly stands out quite a bit compared to the rocks that you typically find on the Martian surface. As soon as the picture started circulating online, social media users began pointing out that it happened to resemble some sort of headwear, such as a Spanish conquistador's helmet. I guess it could be a conquistador's helmet, but no.
No, 5 points for Gryffindor. That's what's going on here.
Yeah. Others, meanwhile, said it looked like a sorting hat from the Harry Potter movies, which is closer. Yeah. The reason the rock looks so odd is that it is covered in spherules. Tip of the hat to Avi Loeb, second time this newscast. It reminds me of one of those rather battered helmets one would often find in medieval hordes, though I do not think we should expect anything so anthropogenic on Mars, the University of London scientist Dr. Kieran Hickman Lewis said as he hiked up his suspenders and waxed nostalgic for ever getting a date.
It sounds to me like he's never heard of space orcs.
I guess not. He also went on to say, I think it's clearly a distinct color and texture relative to the surrounding bedrock. Certainly tells us that this is an out-of-place object in the Martian landscape. It seems to be composed of spherules, spherical particles that might be sedimentary or volcanic in origin and has been eroded from its original location and redeposited here. He then took a hit off his puffer and wax nostalgic. Suffice to say, then, that it won't place you in Gryffindor if you happen to put it on your head. It says here, I swear to God, it says that in the very last line of the story. I was not prompted to throw that back at you. It says it.
Beautiful.
Right.
I believe you.
Right at the very end of that story. All right. We're going to take our break here. When we come back, you can now buy a robot for $6,000, but is it actually any good? We'll talk about that in AI news. That's coming up. The Warrens Occult Museum and House in Connecticut is now open to private overnight stays. We'll tell you how much you'll be putting out to stay there, and we'll also talk Conjuring movie. Why couldn't I get in to see a media screening? We'll talk about it. Why I don't think you're probably in for a treat for the third movie.
My guess is tiny black holes.
Yeah, tiny black holes, exactly. Man spotted a Bigfoot-like creature wading across a river in Oklahoma. We'll talk about that after the break. A documentary is offering an explanation for the Bermuda Triangle mystery. That's one of the stories coming up after the break. A mystery is surrounding a cave skull with a stalagmite growing through it. That sounds painful. We'll talk about that. And we're wrapping things up today, talking in our palate cleanser about a man who has been unable to sleep for 2 years, and he's desperate for answers. Dramamine. I think he's probably going to throw up.
NyQuil.
Yeah, NyQuil. That's the, yeah. They make that special sleep medication, NyQuil does now. So it's already been solved, dude. We got your answers for you at the end of the program. Hopefully he's listening. And after the break, I have the most frustrating audio Parashare you've ever heard in your life. I'm going to appeal to this guy to call us back. I've been holding on to it for a while. I didn't realize I had it. I listened to it today. I'm going to play it for you guys. This man knows somebody very famous who was killed and knows who killed him. It's a combination True Crime Tuesday, Darkness Radio Parashare. But it ends before the answer is given.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We're going to hear it after the break. It's going to frustrate you. I guarantee it. So it's coming up after the break. So with that, we're going to take our break. You're listening to Supernatural News and Parashare on a Wednesday right here with your buddies Tim and Travis on the best in paranormal talk radio. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Right over there, my co-host, Travis Thorpe. Trav, guess what?
Chicken butt?
God, no one's ever come back with that before. How come it took you, of all people, to come back with that one?
It's just me, yeah.
Yeah, well, that made me somewhat happy. I'll just, oh God, see, I did it again. Okay, we'll start up the old AI news segment and tell you that you didn't get me this for my birthday, and I'm a little disappointed. You mentioned in the last segment you had your credit card. You could have popped out the old credit card, got me a robot for six grand.
Yeah, I mean, just a measly $6,000, Tim.
That's it. Just $6,000. Yeah. They're saying it may not be any good, but you can get one for $6,000. Should we find out what $6,000 gets us for a robot?
I'm gonna guess it has something to do with not having to pay child support.
The robot doesn't pay your child support. No, this is a picture of what you get for $6,000.
I mean, can you fight it? Like what?
Well, you can fight anything for $6,000. I mean,
you can fight a room full of toddlers for $6,000.
For $6,000, I don't know if I want to fight it, drink with it, or fuck it. I mean, for $6,000, you could do whatever you want with it. Really, I mean, it's.
Will it do my laundry? Will it do dishes?
I'm sure. Yeah, it'll do.
I mean, if I can get it to do like all the menial tasks that I refuse to do in life because I don't want to be an adult,
yeah,
it's worth the $6,000.
Yeah. China's Unitree Robotics has put out an affordable humanoid robot with some interesting capabilities. You might have noticed that humanoid robots are having a bit of a moment, it says here, from Tesla's Optimus to Figure AI's Figure 02. These machines are no longer just science fiction. They're walking and in some cases cartwheeling into the real world. Now China's Unitree Robotics, best known for its nimble quadruped robots. I know of quadrupled, but not quadruped. Has unveiled something that's turning heads, which is the Unitree R1. For one thing, it's a humanoid robot priced at just under $6,000. That's not pocket change, but it's orders of magnitude cheaper than most robots in its class, which can run into the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The R1 packs serious mobility, sensors, and AI potential into a package that could fit into a university lab, or workspace, or even, if you're adventurous, your living room. So what can the R1 do? Well, the Unitree R1 is around 1 to 2 meters tall, weighs roughly 25 kilograms. Again, it's metric. I have no idea what this means. Similar to a packed suitcase. It makes it compact and relatively easy to move around. It's equipped with 24 to 26 degrees of freedom. We don't want freedom in a robot. No. Oh, I mean like joints freedom. Sorry. So you think of these joints that allow it to bend, twist, rotate, etc. So it has 24 to 26 points of articulation. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. I don't like my robots to be free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving it a surprisingly human-like range of motion. It can walk, squat, wave, balance, kick, and according to Unitree's own demos, pull off athletic tricks like cartwheels.
Wow.
Why do you want
Can you do a cartwheel?
No. Why do I want a robot that can do stuff I can't? I mean, I want it to do like chores like I can, but why do I want it to do cartwheels? Why do I want it goofing off when I can't? It's loaded with sensors, cameras to see in 3D, microphones to hear where sounds are coming from, wireless connections to talk to other devices. Its built-in computer can handle both what it sees and hears at the same time, and you can even give it extra computing power if you buy NVIDIA's Jetson Orin, which is a high-performance computer often used in AI projects, which retails for about, this is 180 pounds? That's not bad.
Yeah, that is not bad.
It's like adding a turbo boost that lets the robot handle more demanding tasks such as advanced image recognition, real-time decision-making, and running complex software like real-time 3D graphics platform Unreal Engine. Battery life, a little disappointing. It's about an hour.
I mean, do you need more than an hour? Combat Rev, why is both of your robots' arms turned into fleshlights?
And why
it makes dishes better.
Why are they milking? Why are they always milking? I have no idea. So battery life is about an hour with a quick release system. Oh, it has a quick release system. So congratulations. You won't need that hour. You only need about 30 seconds. That lets you swap in a fresh battery. Well, and that's not a full day's work, but it's enough for short bursts of training, testing, or demonstration. At least for most research teams, that's plenty. Well, we'll just call ourselves a research team then.
Is this all my life is?
Would you just get it on already? Come on. Not in the face, not in the face, not in the face.
Will you hurry up?
I'm always cleaning my sensors. It says, here's the thing. While the R1's hardware is impressive, the software is still finding its feet. I can never see my feet. My sensors are always clogged. For example, Unitree's website says that users need to understand the limitations of humanoid robots before making a purchase, reflecting constraints to the robot's autonomy. This is not unique to Unitree. It's stated the humanoid robotics field as a whole. The challenge isn't just making a robot move, it's making it understand, adapt, and interact safely in unpredictable real-world environments, such as being able to jerk off Travis in 30 seconds.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
There's a whole bunch of other la on here, but it says for now, the R1 is not the robot that will change everything, but it's a signpost pointing towards the future where robots like it are much more common, much more capable, and perhaps a little more human. So a softer touch, because I have a feeling right now it's got a grip like a vice.
And that's how black holes are formed.
That's right. Pretty much, because when it goes to grip you to jerk you off, your asshole explodes like dark matter, and then that black hole is formed. And
this
that,
is how
kids,
space orcs are burned.
And that, kids, is science. And meanwhile, I'm glad we can teach science on this program to the kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once Bill Nye left,
someone's got to fill the space, and that's what she said. A happy AI story. There's an AI stethoscope out there that could detect major heart conditions in seconds.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I pulled this one just to make myself feel better this week. Stethoscopes powered by AI could help detect 3 different heart conditions in seconds, according to researchers. The original stethoscope, which was invented in what year, Trav? I want you to try and figure this one out.
Oh, I'm going to go 1431.
Oh, very close. You're off by about 400 years. 1816. 1400s. What did they form it with? Tree bark and string?
I mean, who knows, right? I mean, how many times do they dig up some ancient site that's like been buried for 3,000 years and they're like, these guys had batteries and flying cars
in the 1400s. The original stethoscope, invented in 1816, allows doctors to listen to the internal sounds of a patient's body. A British team conducted a study using a modern version and says that they found it can spot heart failure, heart valve disease, and abnormal heart rhythms almost instantly. The tool could be a real game changer, resulting in patients being treated sooner, the researchers say, with plans to roll the device out across London and all of England following a study involving 205 GP surgeries in West and Northwest London. The device replaces the traditional chest piece with a device around the size of a playing card. It uses a microphone to analyze subtle differences in heartbeat and blood flow that the human ear cannot detect. It takes an ECG or electrocardiogram recording electrical signals from the heart and sends the information to the cloud to be analyzed by AI trained on data from tens of thousands of patients. You know how AI sometimes gets things wrong?
No, it never does.
It never does. It's flawless.
Never. It's flawless.
Okay.
Yeah.
I worry about that, when you're, it's listening to your heart and it goes, oh my God, you have an aneurysm. And you really don't. And then you're worried about stuff. I just see that happening.
Right. Where it's like programmed to be like your average Joe that self-diagnosis with WebMD before going in.
Yeah. Yeah. The study by Imperial College London and Imperial College Healthcare NHS Trust saw more than 12,000 patients from 96 surgeries examined with AI stethoscopes manufactured by U.S. firm Echo Health. They were then compared to patients from 109 GP surgeries where the technology was not used. Those with heart failure were 2.33 times more likely to have it detected within 12 months when examined with the AI stethoscope. Not bad.
Yeah.
Abnormal heartbeat patterns, which have no symptoms but can increase stroke risk, were 3.5 times more detectable with the AI stethoscopes, while heart valve disease was 1.9 times more detectable.
Hey, it's a net positive.
Yeah. Yeah. So good news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of the last time I went to the VA and I came in. I think I had 3 cups of coffee, 2 tall monsters, and about a half pack of cigarettes before I walked in.
Oh my God.
And well, I was stressed out. I didn't want to go to the VA. They're always trying to kill me, So, so I go in there. And the nurse puts a blood pressure cuff on me. And you would have thought I threw a severed head on the table. She just looks at me like, are you okay? I'm like,
are you going to live?
Like my numbers were astronomical. And the doctor came in and scolded me. And she's like, you are like borderline ready for stroke. This, that, the other. You need to make serious changes. And I'm like, that's just because of like all the caffeine and nicotine running through my body right now.
Oh, you mean the jump starter I had before I got here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing. You got to see me midday. I haven't even had my midday Coke.
I haven't gone over to Tim's yet for that Coca-Cola slushie.
That's right. Have that Mexican Coke slushie. Then I'll be really going, woohoo! You start making Woody Woodpecker noises at her. That'll get her going.
Yeah, they thought I was going to die right there in the room. They were like, your heart is just going crazy. And I was like, I don't know, this is normal.
This is normal.
I was like, this is how I power through the day. Like,
meanwhile, they've got you strapped to a gurney and they're trying to hit you with every sedative they can to get you to not stroke out.
Oh, it's the VA. They're just like, hey, you just sit there for a few.
think happy thoughts. It's the only medication we can legally treat you with now.
We can give you Tylenol and water. Here you go.
Just think happy thoughts. All right, Travis, I promised I would frustrate you today. Something else to get your blood pressure going.
And it's not a $6,000 robot.
I want to, it's not a $6,000 robot. I want to apologize to Michael. I've had this since July. Yeah, sorry, Michael. But I have no excuse. I don't have an excuse here as to why I've had it and I haven't played it. other than it's been in my mailbox, and I had some issues trying to get voicemails out of my inbox. I've now got your voicemail here, and I want to play it on the air. I played it, and I said, you have got to be effing shitting me. I got through this, Trav. This voicemail cuts off before he's able to tell me the rest of it. So, Michael, I implore you, please call me back and finish your story. I'm going to play it because it's the ultimate suspense story. And I want you guys to be just as frustrated as I am. It's a combination True Crime Tuesday and Darkness Radio Parashare.
I'm ready to blow my eardrums out.
Are you ready? Okay, so This one comes from Michael. Here we go.
Hi, this is Michael. I'm calling because I'm a witness to the James Riddle Hoffa murder on July the 30th, 1975 at approximately 3:20 p.m. Wednesday afternoon in downtown Detroit. I walked up on a mob murder at the Renaissance Center in downtown Detroit. It was phase 2 of the construction of the building. And I had just turned 18 at the time, just graduated out of high school. I was looking for employment at the building, security. So I walked into the building. I asked the security guard which way was Clean America, a temporary employment agency that hires. So he said, go down to the ground floor on the escalators and make a right. I went down to the ground floor and I made a left. I went through Tower 200, which was complete from phase 1, and I continued on southeast of the building. And I walked up to a large, tall plastic.
And that's where it cut off. And I said to myself, you've got to be fucking kidding me. He saw Hoffa get murdered.
Oh.
In Detroit. Michael saw history. So, Michael, I'm imploring you, please, either call me back by the same system, again, by going to darknessradioshow.com, clicking on that blue button, leaving your story again, or email me, tim@darknessradio.com. Email me directly, and I'll give you my phone number, my personal phone number, and let's talk, because I'd like to get you on the show. I'd like to be able to record this, and I'll interview you. We'll go back and forth, and we'll talk, and put the segment on the show. I want to be able to talk to you about that day and put the segment on True Crime Tuesday.
That is wild.
Yeah.
You're right, Tim. I do hate you for that. Should we not say his last name just for safety reasons?
See,
so
I thought
you can get the other side.
I thought about that too, but you know what?
Because I mean, if he's the only witness to this thing that has been such a mystery for so goddamn long,
you know what? I may bleep out his last name.
Yeah, I think that's the right move. Yeah.
So we won't say his last name. Oh, we'll just refer to him as Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know, it's interesting. Like at first when I was listening to it, I was like, how many times do you have people that just want to feel important, so they start talking about things? But I'm listening to very specific details that he's regaling going back, what, 40, 50 years?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, he's not just filling that in.
No.
Right? These are very specific things that are illicit memories due to a traumatic event. Wow.
I really do believe he saw the murder of Jimmy Hoffa.
That's wild.
Isn't that something?
Huh. Protect him at all costs.
Yeah.
We got to get the other half of that story.
Yeah. Dude, I got chills right now. That's amazing. Wow.
And he contacted you through the show?
Yep, through the show website.
Michael, yeah, if you're out there listening, definitely get in contact immediately. Get this out there, and for the love of God, please even just record it, put it on some kind of thumb drive, something.
I do have a way to email him back. I'm going to email him back. I'll contact you after the show, Mike. But yeah, please. I'll try to contact you and see if we can set something up where I can record with you. I want to get your story and be able to maybe set it up as a segment, maybe even for a True Crime Tuesday. Because it's too important. I think it's too important. So
huge slice of Americana.
Yeah. So yeah. So we'll be working on that this week. A little something to look forward to.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim. Yeah. My heart didn't need any more of that along with my monster.
So, well, I figured I'd get something to slow your heart down there. Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. Well, you got to make some news. You got to break some news in this business.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael, for calling in. And by the way, if you want to call in, you can do that by going to our website, darknessradioshow.com. There's a blue button on the right-hand side of the website. You click on that blue button. You've got 2 minutes to leave your message like Michael did. Or you can just write us an old-fashioned email, tim@darknessradio.com. You can leave us your paranormal experience, or if you have a true crime experience, you can do that as well. And I tell you what, we'll air it either here on Supernatural News, or we'll do it on True Crime Tuesday. We'll do it during Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals. So, and we call that I Knew a Murderer. that's that part of our program. All right. I had told you before that the Warrens Occult Museum and House in Connecticut is now open to private overnight investigations and stays. And already mixed reviews. Yeah. In a YouTube live stream from the Monroe House on Friday night, YouTuber Elton Casty, who purchased the Warrens Occult Museum with comedian Matt Rife, announced the next steps of their plan regarding the property. During the 3-hour live stream, Casty revealed that they have set up a website for bookings of overnight stays at the house. Casty also revealed the password for the protected website during the stream, allowing interested parties to see details pertaining to the house and the museum. The website notes that reservations to stay at the house will open on Friday, September 5th at 6 p.m. Stays begin on November 1st at the cost of, how much do you think?
Half of a robot.
You're close.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. It's going to cost you $1,999 a night to stay on the property. So almost $2,000. Now, keep in mind, you probably split that amongst some team members, but still, it's going to cost you a pretty penny to step onto the Warrens' property in order to investigate. And that guarantees you nothing.
Yeah, if you spend the same amount at a strip club, you'll at least guarantee something.
I mean, you'll get within spitting distance of Annabelle, I guess. But that's about it. Bookings are available through February 15th of next year. So that's how far they're booking out. All areas of the house will be accessible to overnight guests aside from the museum, which is limited to 4-hour visits. So you can't stay overnight in the museum.
So you're going to spend $2,000 for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Guests will be given access to the museum from 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. during their stay, which will be monitored by experienced staff. A toolkit for paranormal investigations, which contains approximately $25,000 in gear, will be available to use, including night vision body cameras, dowsing rods, an EVP recorder, and other devices. So you will get those pieces of equipment to use. Now, holy water, bedding, towels, bathroom essentials, drinks, and snacks will be provided to guests according to the website. So they will outfit you with all the different stuff for the $2,000.
Okay.
Not a bad deal.
Well, you don't have to haul all your gear out there and all that then, too. They have stuff available for you right there.
Right. Now, here's the thing. If you think you're going to load 30 people in for $2,000, yeah, another thing coming, Buster. For that $2,000, a maximum of 8 people are allowed to stay overnight at the property at a time. So you're going to end up ponying $200 a piece for the privilege. The minimum age to book an overnight stay is 18.
Well, I mean, that's legit, right?
Yep.
Well, and so what, you're talking $200 per person the night for a 4-hour experience with all the gear provided.
No. That's 4 hours for the museum. You can stay overnight, but you only get 4 hours in the museum from 9:30 to 1:30. They're not going to, in other words, they're not going to let you stay in the museum all night, because I think a lot of people are thinking that we're going to be able to ghost hunt the museum all night, and that we're going to spend the majority of the night ghost hunting this haunted museum all night. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that'd be boring. It'd be like sitting in a tool shed.
Well, but that's where the majority of the haunted, items are, and that's where the activity is.
But none of them have opposable thumbs, Tim.
That's right. I don't know what that has to do with the price of tea in China, but all guests must have their ID checked prior to entering the property and must sign a physical liability waiver. Of course, according to the website, a spiritual liability waiver will also need to be signed.
I'm not responsible for your soul being tainted.
That's right.
Possessed.
So should you be possessed, it is not on Mr. Casti and Mr. Rife.
Hey, look, if I was the property manager, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
The quote here is, protective measures and items will be given to all guests to use at their discretion. Holy water, rosary beads, protective items, prayer cards, and more. There's also a spiritual sanctuary, a highly protected and blessed area that can be utilized at any time with additional protective measures there as well. The website notes that they are not liable for any physical or spiritual afflictions that may occur during your stay or at any point afterwards, which includes, but is not limited to, scratches, possessions, attachments, vomiting, fainting, levitation, sleep paralysis, bruising, black eyes, psychic wounds, nightmares, voices in your head, astral projections, and beyond. So they are taking no responsibilities and expect no lawsuits.
Hey, you order a hot coffee at McDonald's and spill it on yourself, and you win $50 million in a lawsuit because hot coffee burned your lap. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all for taking that precaution, because you know damn well somebody's going to spend the $6,000 or sorry, the $3,000, no, $2,000 to rent out the place for the night. And then they're going to go and countersue him going, well, I divorced my husband and sold my house and then went homeless because the spirits at this place told me to do these things that ruined my life. So Matt Rafe, I know that you're worth $150 million because you're a famous comedian. So now I want $80 million of what your net worth.
Nope.
Because your stupid haunted place.
You had it coming.
Yep.
No live streams or filming for network television will be allowed unless given explicit permission prior to visit. So in other words, any network TV or even if you have a YouTube show, you have to set it up prior. And my guess is they're probably not going to allow too many people to film there, i.e. the only ones who'll be able to do it is probably Ghost Adventures. Additionally, or J-Haws, one or the other. Additionally, no sponsored content may be filmed on the property at any time. Filming for personal use and social media is allowed, but must be reviewed and approved by our team to ensure factual accuracy and respectful intent towards the home, museum, and the Warrens, according to the website. Reinforced on the website is the fact that this is a private property and that access to the property is only available for booked overnight stays. There will be no tours of the museum or house outside of a booking for an overnight stay. The website notes that this is a top-of-the-line fence, or the website notes that a top-of-the-line fence and 24-hour security system are in place. We are complying with all city and state regulations to ensure the integrity and respect of the property and neighborhood is in play. The website notes the Warrens Occult Museum, which houses a number of allegedly haunted artifacts, such as the Annabelle doll, was sold along with the adjoining house to Rife and Casti for $1 million this month, according to Monroe Land Records. In an Instagram post, Rife, who called the house and museum the most important and prominent piece of paranormal history in the world, elaborated that he and Casti don't legally own the items in the museum, but are the legal guardians and caretakers of the items. In a phone interview with Chaz and AJ in the morning this month, Casti said he and Rife are under contract to open the museum off-site from the house in a commercial property. Casti noted that if all goes well, according to the closing schedule, they will be making further announcements around Halloween. They're aiming to open around May next year, Casti told the radio program. The house and museum belonged, again, to Ed and Lorraine Warren, whose stories are the basis for the Conjuring series of movies. Now, speaking of the Conjuring series, Last Rites comes out on September 5th, this week. Interestingly enough, there are two marketing companies here in town. Now, I can't find a screening by either company for The Conjuring. There was one earlier this summer that was listed for last week. They pulled it off the table, which means only one thing. I know that the end production for this movie was rushed, and the script was changed a couple of times, which tells me that
you think it's going to be Garbo.
Oh, it's going to be rough. This is going to be rough. And in this, the end of the shoot for this was pretty rough. They had to change the script a couple of times due to some disagreements with the estate on the story.
Really?
Yeah. The Warrens estate.
If memory serves me correct, and I could be way off on this because I'm trying to pull from the ether of the deep core memories here. I seem to recall years past that, what was it, like some surviving son or something like that was like saying that the story that they were showing in the movies had nothing to reflect on the reality of it.
Well,
there was some kind of tiff or fight about that.
This one, Last Rites, is probably going to be the least amount of truth having to do with the Warrens. Because if you've seen the marketing campaign, it's supposed to be their most deadliest case ever. And I think this is the one in which, if I remember right, this has to do with is this the Enfield poltergeist case? I think it's supposed to be based on Enfield, and they had nothing to do with Enfield.
So it's like a complete fan fiction.
Yeah, it's complete fan fiction. So and I believe they're also combining Enfield and they're combining a demonic case. So they're actually combining two cases to make one case, and that's why this is so controversial of a movie.
I think I've seen the script to this. Isn't that when? Okay, so when the possessed is crawling up the wall, and the window shatters open, and this black shadow comes through, and this cape opens up, and you hear, "I'm Batman." And there was this weird crossover between DC and the Warrens. Like Batman shows up.
Yeah, but it's all in the family, right?
He starts, Alfred is over there with the Bible open and yelling, throwing water all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Gary Oldman's really good in it. So, he's so good in all this. So, yeah.
Flava Flav shows up.
He's the new Robin. Yeah. So it's very good. It's very good. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Just because I'm trying to kiss the movie company's ass. No, but I'd be aware. I'd be aware and beware.
Let's go double Dutch. Let's go watch it together, Tim.
Hey, I'm down to go see it this weekend, but I'd be a little leery. I mean, I'd go see it at a matinee. I'm not saying don't go see it. Go see it, but it's probably going to be
just know it's going to be a sheer entertainment thing.
Yes, yeah. This is the telling of the Warrens. Like it's Warren fan fiction, is what it is. None of this ever happened to them in real life. Because I've had a lot of people ask me, are the Conjuring movies based on real life? Are they based on real cases of the Warrens? And I always tell them, if you really want to know what happened to Ed and Lorraine, go read their books and then go ask John Zaffis and go read Johnny Zaffis's books and his social media. If you really want to know what happened, go ask family members, go read family members, go read their books. Because you're never going to find out the truth by watching Hollywood movies. Hollywood movies are, they're doctored so badly.
What?
Yeah. I don't know if you know that or not, Travis.
No. Books hurt brain. Words hard.
Yeah.
Screen pleasant.
They make these apps now that read back to you. They're kind of fun.
You mean to tell me that Hagrid isn't real?
No.
What?
No. All right, let's move on. Next story I have for you has to do with a Michigan hotel that's been named one of the most terrifying places in America. Michigan is home to several places with dark histories that'll give you goosebumps just hearing about them. And if you're brave enough to visit a place like this, well, one of the most terrifying spots in America, it can be found in the Great Lakes state. Love Exploring ranked the most spine-chilling spots to visit in the U.S. that are guaranteed to get your heart racing. And one historic hotel in Michigan has attracted ghost hunters and visitors seeking a haunted experience. The Whitney in Detroit makes the list of the most terrifying places where ghostly apparitions, eerie noises, and the elevator opening without passengers are some of the most reported phenomena. The site says if you're after a sight of the supernatural with your slap-up dinner. Have you ever had a slap-up dinner? I have no idea what that is.
I think it's another subscription tab on OnlyFans.
I think so too. Yeah. You know what? TMZ is doing a special about OnlyFans tonight, and I think I forgot to record it.
Oh.
It's about the positive and negative sides of OnlyFans.
You'll miss their article about me.
Yeah, it's too bad. And actually, they were going to feature the professor who got fired from the University of Wisconsin for having an OnlyFans site.
I don't get the big deal. Like, they're adults.
Yeah,
let them do adult things.
Yeah, I don't.
Doesn't hurt anybody. Yeah,
but
whatever.
And then they had a panel of random adults that were put together, and they were gonna show them the positive side and the negative side of OnlyFans, and then they were gonna have them kibitz together. It was kind of an interesting concept. Anyways, I'll get back to this.
A town hall about OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So after you've had your slap up dinner, it says here, after you've had your side of supernatural with your slap up dinner, head to the Whitney. It says. a historic mansion and restaurant in Detroit. It was the home of wealthy lumber baron David Whitney Jr. from 1894. He died at the property, as did his first and second wives, before becoming a hospice for tuberculosis patients. Unsurprisingly, then, it's said that the place is haunted, with reports of ghostly faces in the windows and an elevator that has a mind of its own. The Whitney embraces its spooky reputation by offering paranormal-themed events where you can dine with the spirits and drink with them, too, at the Ghost Bar. Also a nod to the supernatural. They say take a trip to see for yourself if the Whitney Hotel in Detroit is truly one of the most terrifying places in America. So there you go. I've heard from Mally that the Whitney's pretty scary.
She been there?
Yeah, she's been there. Yeah. So it's worth checking out.
I remember being like 18. I just came back from boot and I was working security in Rochester, Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And they had me at the Courtyard Marriott, which had an underground tunnel that was connected to the Rochester Mayo.
Yeah.
And I remember patrolling that for like, 3 weeks at night, and every night when I was patrolling it, the fucking elevators would go off by themselves and you just hear ding and they would open and you're like, what the fuck? And you like look in there and there's nobody in there and you're like, okay. And you kind of walk away and the lights start shutting off going down the hallway. And you're like, that's gotta be like a timed, you're telling yourself like that's a timed thing. There's a timer because the sensors, whatever. And all of a sudden the elevator shuts and then opens again and then shuts and opens again. And you're like, okay, all right. Hi.
Yep. 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 Just the spirit saying hi to you, Trav. That's all.
I could imagine that the Whitney is a lot like that then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. Our next story has to do with a man who has spotted a Bigfoot-like creature wading across a river in Oklahoma. The encounter happened early in the morning while he was driving across a bridge between Tuttle and Mustang. In a recent sighting submission to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, 62-year-old Jeff Power described an encounter with something unexplained at 8:15 a.m. on the morning of August 4th. He had been heading to work and had been driving on the bridge over the Canadian River when he spotted a large, dark shape wading through the water around knee-deep. The creature was at a distance of 80 to 120 yards and was heading for the northern bank. He noted that it was walking on two legs, but was otherwise unable to make out any details. Keen to get another look at the creature, he turned his vehicle around and drove back, but by the time he had reached the river, it was nowhere to be seen. He later clarified that the beast had been huge and was wider than a 50-gallon drum. As a veteran deer hunter, Power is certainly no stranger to identifying wildlife, and whatever this was, it was nothing he had ever seen before. As things stand, exactly what it was, or what it was that he saw that day, continues to remain a complete mystery.
Meanwhile, it was just a grizzly bear standing in the
yes, it was just a grizzly fishing.
Standing in the water,
Yeah. And he didn't get his video camera out quick, or his phone out quick enough to video it.
I don't know. I hope there's like entire break off civilizations of Yetis, just Bigfoots everywhere. Just a bunch of swamp apes. I love it. I want it to be a thing so bad. I want all the things, Tim. I want unicorns.
Yeah.
I want it all.
Just rogue unicorns out there sticking their horns up people's butts.
I mean,
just random rammings everywhere.
If that's your search history, I don't judge it, Tim.
It's not mine. I'm just saying. I didn't know if that's the extent we were going to right now or not.
There might be some Bigfoot stuff in mine. I don't know.
Okay, I know we've gotten way off course with this show today, but what do you think of Bigfoot romance novels? Trash or treasure? Give me a 10-second synopsis. Go.
It's both. It's both. I mean, if you ask my wife, she's probably living one.
Oh my God. A little sorry I asked. Okay. All right, then.
I mean, is that what Harry and the Hendersons were?
No, that wasn't supposed to be a romance. That was supposed to be family entertainment.
It was just the PG version. Harry and the Hendersons After Dark.
After dark. You know, if we shave him, dear, he's just a big model. He's just a big Chippendale.
I used to have a thing for lumberjacks until I met you.
You don't speak English, but neither does the hubby very well.
Oh, man. Bigfoot romance novels. I'm here for it. Let's do it. We're going to write our own.
No, they're out there, though. I mean, they really are out there. Have you ever seen them?
No, but it doesn't surprise me. Dude,
go to Amazon. I'm serious. You're laughing at me. I have to do a lot of research for this show.
This is seriously a thing.
Seriously, okay. Go to Amazon, put in Bigfoot romance, and watch the fucking screen populate.
All right. Bigfoot romance novels. Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not joking.
Seduced by Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And ravaged by the Yeti.
Yeah.
The secret adventures of a fertile housewife.
You're like, let's do it. It's been done. Yeah. In the ass. Yeah.
Knotted by the Bigfoot shifter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I said, give me your opinion. And you think I'm joking.
They got 5-star reviews on them. Like Bigfoot and the Bridesmaid. Sex with the Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's an audience.
Monster Erotica has 295 reviews.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Let's write that shit, bro. We can get that outrageous. She felt his globe-like knob approach her back door. That people are waiting for that line.
Oh my God. That's great. I mean, look, at least I know there's like 295 people out there that are like, oh yeah, combat rev. Mm.
Meanwhile, there's probably somebody listening to the show going, what's wrong with that?
Oh,
I happen to have some of those fantasies.
They are $0.
Yeah, you can read them for free on Kindle Unlimited.
They're free.
Yeah, pick one up and read it, bro. I mean, you know.
I'm gonna have Siri read it to me.
Educate yourself.
in like Snoop Dogg's voice.
Yes. Yeah, you do that too. I do that on Speechify. Yeah. It'd be Bigfoot After Dark. I'm telling you. Yeah.
This is great. All
right.
It's like the time somebody told me about pterodactyl porn.
There's pterodactyl porn?
Oh, it's a thing.
Oh, God damn it.
You're welcome.
Now we're learning way too much on this show.
I'm about to change your life.
I think we just changed everybody's life today. I actually thought about putting on one of the Bigfoot porn purveyors on the show just for a giggle one week.
Yeah. Why not? Go reach out to
why
one of these
not?
authors.
Because I may lose listeners and watchers and purveyors. That's why.
I mean,
but
you'll lose what? 5. You'll gain 295.
You might lose 5. So why do you like to write about Bigfoot diddling? I mean, how many questions can I come up with for someone who writes Bigfoot porn?
You are a talented and experienced host, Tim. I believe in you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I want to co-host that interview.
We get in too much trouble. It'd just be wrong.
Can we make it a tag team?
See? Tag team back again. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the cryptid news here. The Mothman Festival is set to return to Point Pleasant next month. We've had a few guests on the program the last couple of months who have been at the Mothman Festival. Dave Spinks, good brother, is going to be there. Bally Raven, who was on the program, who draws cryptids and has her own podcast. She'll be at Mothman Festival this year as well. One of West Virginia's most enigmatic mysteries will be the focus of that event starting September 20th. Mothman Festival coming up. Described as a human-like entity with wings and glowing red eyes. Travis, I take it you will search Amazon for Mothman porn while I read this story. God damn it. The creature known as Mothman gained prominence after it was sighted multiple times in and around Point Pleasant, West Virginia from 1966 to 1967. First reported sighting occurred in November of 1966 when 5 men who were digging a grave in a local cemetery described seeing a strange figure swooping over the trees overhead. The creature was seen again only a few days later when the 2 couples driving through the area encountered the terrifying spectacle of a human-like shape with glowing red eyes illuminated by their headlights. As time went on, more and more people reported seeing the creature. When 46 people died in the collapse of the Silver Bridge in December of 1967, Mothman came to be associated with the disaster. The phenomenon was later described by John Keel in his 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies, which was turned into a movie starring Richard Gere in 2002. The Mothman is also celebrated in Point Pleasant at a festival held in the town, which typically features a range of activities, guest speakers, exhibits, competitions, and more. This year's festival is set to take place next month, September 20th and the 21st. And I tell you what, the article I'm reading has some footage from Mothman Festival. I'll post that in the description of this program so you can see it. All right, now you've looked up what?
Oh, yeah. I have looked up on Amazon.
Oh, God.
And there is Mothman romance books claimed by the Mothman, a romance of wings and will.
No.
There is I'm in love with Mothman with 546 reviews.
No.
And get this, down towards the bottom, Sweet Berries, Cambric Creek, Sweet and Steamy Monster Romance Series, Book 2, has 6,053 reviews.
Book 2?
Book 2.
Jesus H. Book 2.
Oh. This is gonna have to be a new thing, man. I'm just like every topic, I'm just gonna have to type whatever that is, romance novel on Amazon and just and laugh. I don't, man, like Panhandler. Let's look that up.
Panhandler? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now you're going too far. Oh God. See, he could do this. You could do this all night. We're going to waste people's time with this.
You created a monster, Tim.
I did. Yeah. It's horrible.
Is there black hole romance?
I'm sure there is black hole porn. You're going to a whole different category there, my friend. Jesus.
Oh my God. Yep. Yeah, we're not going down that road. Closing Amazon.
Yeah, you probably should. You're going to get us in big time trouble. Closing up the Mothman topic. I know, that's what she said. Lon Strickler, another friend of ours, as I open up TikTok here, has the Haunting Legacy of Mothman, which is a live presentation that he's doing in Hanover, Pennsylvania, September 15th at 7 p.m. You can get your tickets at the Serpent Key Shop .company.site/products. There's a big, huge, long link for
Jagged
it.
URL.
Yeah, jagged URL. But it's himself and Risa Miller. They're doing an exploration of one of the most infamous cryptid legends of all time, the Mothman. Lon is also another huge Mothman historian, and he's got he's got some stuff that he's doing with Mothman this month too. September's a huge month for Mothman. So I tell you what, I'll post Lon's link as well to what he's doing with the Serpent's Key and getting tickets for that as well, because Lon's a good friend of the show as well. So I encourage you to go check out what he's doing. All right. There's a documentary out there offering an explanation for the Bermuda Triangle mystery. Thousands of people have disappeared within this unassuming region, and now we might have an answer as to why. There are few mysteries as enduring as the Bermuda Triangle, an expanse of ocean in the North Atlantic that spans the area between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Over the years, the region that has become synonymous with the explained disappearances of ships and airplanes, often with no trace of them or their crews ever being found. Now, in a recently resurfaced Channel 5 documentary entitled The Bermuda Triangle Enigma, University of Southampton oceanographer Simon Boxall has put forward what he believes to be the most likely explanation for the Bermuda Triangle phenomena, which is rogue waves. There was a time when the idea that a suddenly disproportionately massive wave could appear out of the blue and sink an entire ship was little more than nautical folklore. It wasn't until 1995, in fact, when a sudden huge wave sunk an oil drilling platform off the coast of Norway, that the reality of these gargantuan freak waves was brought into sharp focus. The truth that rogue waves can and do happen, but scientists still do not fully understand how and why. According to Boxall, the region encompassing the Bermuda Triangle may be particularly prone to rogue waves due to its meteorological conditions. Even if rogue waves did explain why ships have disappeared, however, it doesn't quite explain why aircraft have also vanished over the region. Perhaps the true explanation is that multiple phenomena are at play at the same time. I don't know, Travis, rogue waves?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you were talking about the rogue waves, it's like, yeah, sure, that covers your nautical vessels, right? But and then I'm like, okay, so I'm waiting for the point to go, what about the airplanes and Amelia Earhart? And, and yeah, and then they obviously then touch that.
Rogue birds.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's a weird hurricane, like, yeah. I don't know. Like rogue waves, that's easy enough to explain. There's giant fucking sea serpents and giant krakens and sea monsters and dragons that live under the water that are moving around and create a giant wave. Boom.
Giant UFOs.
Yep, giant UFOs.
We got 3 of them to appear in the Bermuda Triangle.
Star Trek. They taught us about space whales. We know it exists, right?
Yep. Yeah. Space whales. Yeah.
Space whales.
All right. Double entendre alert. Mysterious balls have washed up on the Australian coast once again. I couldn't even get through the headline.
I don't get it.
That's what I hear about you. The peculiar spheres which have appeared in New South Wales echo those found washed up last year. And if your balls are washed up, you know what they say. Probably want to stop using them. Australia has once again been gripped with a mystery concerning anomalous balls, which is the name of my new group. To me,
is this your new band?
Yeah, it's my new band. It's basically washed up heavy metal guys. It's the guitarist from Yes. It's the drummer from Quiet Riot.
I love it. This is like a dream team.
Yeah. We're just called Anomalous Balls. Australia has once again been gripped with a mystery concerning anomalous balls washing up on its beaches, and nobody is quite sure what they are or where they come from. Your mom. They were first spotted by a member of the public on North Shelley Dog Beach last week. Of course, a dog noticed them.
A dog noticed the balls.
Council confirmed the presence of debris balls and debris balls. I don't know why that makes me laugh. And advised that all visible balls were cleared from the beach by mid-afternoon. But you know what they didn't get rid of?
The blue ones?
These nuts.
Bravo, Tim. Bravo.
Thank you. Debris balls washed ashore could be from a variety of sources or locations such as stormwater, sewage networks, ships from local or international locations. Further inspections and safe cleanup are underway. In the meantime, the general public have been advised not to touch or go near the balls.
I mean, you don't know if it came from a sperm whale, you know? Like,
I think it's just good advice for life. Don't touch or go near the balls. At least unless you're familiar with them. You know?
I mean, do they got pictures of the balls?
I hear they're kept in a wrinkly sack. Yeah. The incident echoes the discovery of thousands of small spheres along Australia's New South Wales coastline, both in 2024 and again earlier this year when multiple beaches had to be closed. It was later determined that the balls in the latter case are from a sewage spill.
Wow.
Normally, you don't spill your sewage until much later when you put your balls away. It's normally not,
Yeah, my thought initially went to like, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but like they've been doing this for a couple of decades, maybe just a decade now, where they've been taking like these blue, almost think of like the McDonald's ball pit, right? Okay. But they would have these black spheres or these little black balls that they would cover lakes and different irrigation things in that. And it was supposed to, I don't know if it was to keep the temperature down or the algae or there was some kind of science shenanigans to it.
Science shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, they put balls on top of it to do something to protect the water or something, whatever, some kind of sciencey stuff. So I don't know, like Australia seems like a mildly maybe sciencey
shit country.
Yeah. Sciencey shit country,
Yeah.
That maybe like some, I don't know, like oceanographer, right? Some kind of ocean sciencey nerd went out there and dropped a bunch of fucking balls in an area and then it washed up on some dog beach. They're like, what's up with all these balls here? Can we barbecue it?
Let's throw it on the bobby, eh? I think that was K102 slogan at one time. Seriously, sciencey shit country, K102. Make a good radio station slogan. Let's move on to our next story, shall we? The location where Jesus healed the blind is found. Evidently, Ray Charles said, "Oh, there it is." It's a blind joke. I can tell him I'm blind in one eye. Didn't I ever tell you that?
Well, the blind man told the deaf woman over the broken telephone. Yes, I remember this story.
It's one of those complex Marx Brothers jokes. It just keeps building. A huge ancient structure has been discovered in Jerusalem, and archaeologists believe it could be the place where Jesus healed a blind man in the Bible. The Gospels describe how Christ restored sight to a beggar after sending him to wash in the pool of Siloam. Yes?
I don't know.
Yep, in Jerusalem.
I'm not familiar with the pool. We'll have to look it up.
Okay, you do that.
Then I'll give you my best crack at it.
Thank you. And let's stay away from the Bigfoot porn while you're doing it. Now, a monumental dam marking the former location of the pool has been found by archaeologists in the ancient heart of the city. And the structure may have been built by Jesus's ancestors, dating back 2,800 years to the reigns of his forebears, Kings Joash and Amaziah of Judah. excavation director Itamar Berko of the Israeli Antiquities Authority said the discovery provided a tangible link to the place described in Scripture. He said, until today, we could only read in the biblical text about the existence of the pool of, I believe it is Siloam, Siloam, Siloam.
The pool of Siloam.
Siloam, yeah, close.
There you go.
Yeah.
Google Translate for the win.
There you go. Now we can see its tangible remnants, and it's beginning from 2,800 years ago. Behind us is a monumental dam wall. It's a dam wall, enormous in size, over 11 meters high, dated to 2,800 years ago during the First Temple period in the time of Kings Joash and Amaziah. He added, thanks to highly precise scientific dating, this is the first time it is possible to point with certainty to a structure that's formed the basis for the construction of the Siloam, right?
Siloam. Here, we'll do it again. You ready?
Siloam.
3, 2, 1.
The pool of Siloam.
Siloam. I love how she's so slow saying it.
It was like Google realized that
Siloam.
they needed to talk to us like we're a little slow.
Yeah. Siloam. It's like she was tripping balls while she said it. Siloam. Which until now we knew only from the Bible and historical sources. Siloam. Berko and his co-directors, Nashon Zanton and Philip Vukosevic, described the wall's dimensions as remarkable. As well as being 12 meters high, it's over 8 meters wide and at least 21 meters in length, stretching beyond the limits of the current excavation. Without it, there would have been no pool of Siloam. Dr. Zanton said it is the lowest point in ancient Jerusalem. All the water, all the runoff from the rain that falls essentially flows here to this central large drainage basin of the city. If it wasn't for this dam wall, the water flowing in this channel would simply flow into the Kidron Valley straight to the Dead Sea. The wall's unusual construction meant it could be dated to a very small window of time, according to Joanna Regev and Elisabetta Boretto of the Weizmann Institute of Science. And the abnormally low rainfall during this time suggests that the pool was constructed in response to climate change. Did they have climate change way back then?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we didn't start hearing about that at all until about the late 90s. But, although we've experienced diluvian flood after diluvian flood, man, we've gotten full circle.
Yeah, we really have. They had Bigfoot porn back in Jesus' time.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
The David and Goliath.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Can't tell me that's not a romance.
You can't tell me that either. One more biblical story here, and I think we're pretty close to the end of our program today. Evidence of biblical Canaanite industry unearthed in Israel. I say they sold Girl Scout cookies. I don't know about you. Because they've been around since the beginning of time.
I think they just sold day passes to
The pool of Siloam.
Yes, they did. Siloam. Who's tripping balls with me? Who? Archaeologists have discovered the remains of an ancient blade factory around 40 miles south of Tel Aviv. Would that have shocked you at all?
Not at all.
No.
Not in the least bit.
The impressive site, which stretches over a large distance, was thought to have been once home to a sophisticated workshop where long flint blades were produced, but in large numbers. In addition to examples of these blades, archaeologists found huge stones that were used to shape them, as well as hundreds of underground pits lined with mud bricks that served as storage areas. Evidence of dwellings and ritualistic spaces were also found. The discovery is partly significant, or particularly significant, because it confirms descriptions in the Bible of the Canaanites, the original settlers of the region, who lived there until the Israelites arrived and took it over. The most impressive findings discovered at the site are large flint cores from which extremely sharp, uniformly shaped blades were produced, the Israel Antiquities Authority wrote. The blades themselves were used as knives for cutting and butchering and as harvesting tools like sickle blades. The production technology was extremely advanced and included use as a kind of crane to exert precise pressure on the flint. Dr. Jacob Vardy described the site as sophisticated industry.
Nice.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. All right, I told you earlier about a story about a mystery surrounding a cave that had a skull with a stalagmite growing through it.
Yeah. Is it a cyclops impaled or is it a unicorn?
Right to the top, my friend. Bingo, bango,
Oh, your
boom.
ring light is almost perfectly circulating it.
Is it?
All right.
If I go like that, can you see it?
Oh, cool.
Look at that. Boom.
Wait, I think I've seen a photo of that recently.
Researchers have been attempting to solve the mystery of a 300,000-year-old skull found in Greece, discovered within the darkness of the Petrolona cave. This remarkable skull, which belongs to an archaic species of human, is notable for a fact that has a stalagmite growing directly through it, right to the top of the old dome. Initially found in 1960, it is often referred to as Petrolona Man. This intriguing specimen has long left paleoanthropologists scratching their head. A recent study has concluded that it is neither Neanderthal nor human, leaving a question mark over exactly which species of archaic human ancestors it actually belongs to. The only thing we can say for certain is that the individual was male. Why? Because he's got something sticking through his head? That's what makes him male? It's a lawn chart. That's the only thing we can say. It's an old lawn chart, probably. The skull is also now believed to date back to at least 300,000 years, possibly longer, depending on exactly how long the stalagmite growing took to form. One possibility is that it belonged to the species Homo heidelbergensis. Boy, I said that 10 times fast. But this has yet to be confirmed. Whatever the case, the skull remains one of the most unique paleoanthropological discoveries. There you be.
Homo what?
Homo anthropological? Isn't that what I said? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Homo heidelbergensis.
We'll see if we can get close.
You want me to spell it out for you?
No, it'll take too long.
Okay.
The infantry brain won't work. Yeah, I want to look more up on that. I saw that photo earlier this week, and I knew I'd seen that.
Burr is B-E-R. So Homo Heidel, H-E-I-D-E-L, Heidelbergensis. Heidelbergensis is all one word. Let me do our last, or I think this is the last story before our palate cleanser here, and then I think we're out of here. Let me see. Yep, this is our last story before our palate cleanser here. Future humans are likely to lose several redundant body parts. Speaking of losing something out of your skull, like a stalagmite.
Yeah.
A few thousand years from now, some of the human body's less useful adaptations are likely to disappear. Our species has evolved a great deal over the years, so it stands to reason that we will continue to change well into the future, albeit in more subtle ways. In particular, drastic and persistent changes in our diet, environment, and lifestyle compared to our ancestors means that we no longer need things that were once quite important. One example of this is the tailbone or coccyx, something that is relatively useless nowadays. Well, try falling and breaking it. You'll find out how useless it really is. But that was once an important part of our ability to balance, especially when climbing in trees. Scientists believe that in the future, this leftover relic will get smaller and may even disappear entirely. The same is true of the appendix, an organ that once helped our ancestors digest cellulose-rich plants, but today seems more like a liability, given its vulnerability to appendicitis. Our ear muscles are another example. These would have once enabled us to change the direction of our ears to aid listening, that are today little more than a party trick, even if you can move them at all. Most people can't. Finally, body hair is something else that serves little purpose. I have quite a bit wasting away on my back. Just saying.
I am Mr. Yeti novel, okay?
Mr. Yeti novel. While it may have once helped us stay warm outside in cold environments, today it's more of a nuisance that a lot of people tend to remove for cosmetic reasons. In the future, it's quite possible that we will eventually become completely hairless. I think for some people, they'd love that.
It sounds like this person subscribes to the whole theory of the Greys being us in the future, visiting ourselves, and that we've just evolved into these weird, like, genderless fucking sacks of eyeballs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they do. Yeah. All right. Our palate cleanser for today has to do with a man who was unable to sleep for 2 years and is desperate for answers. Now, I know a lot of you would say there's sleep aids out there. Just go to the pharmacy. You'll find one. Or go to a doctor. He's got something to knock you out. It's a simple answer, really. A 32-year-old man from the UK suddenly found he couldn't get to sleep and has been awake ever since. Just can't get to sleep. In one of the most extreme cases of insomnia ever recorded, Oliver Alvis had been in good health until one night 2 years ago, he found that he was unable to get off to sleep. Far from being an isolated incident, it turned out that he wasn't able to sleep at all, no matter what, not even after taking strong sedatives. So he tried that avenue. He has since been on a journey to find some sort of solution to his problem. I don't just have a lack of sleep, it's the total disappearance of sleep, he told Mail Online. I don't feel sleepy. I don't fall asleep. I'm in a permanent state of alertness. Endless days turn into endless nights, and it's torment. The lack of sleep is not only causing exhaustion, but it crumbles the spirit, he went on to say. I've lost almost everything. The person I once was is gone. How can it be that something so natural, so essential as sleep is completely taken away from me? Due to the lack of sleep, the 32-year-old now suffers from extreme muscle pains, an endless sense of pressure in his head, impaired vision, and an ability to even walk in a straight line. Here's what I'm wondering before I go any further. How come he doesn't just lay down and close his eyes and rest?
I would imagine he has tried that if he said that he tried aggressive sedatives, right? It is very obvious he has not explored all of his avenues and options, though. Because, look, you can be put under with sleeping gas, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of laughing gas.
Yeah.
Relatively easy, right?
Yeah.
And that if he went to his physician and was like, hey, I have not slept in a month, 2 months, 3 months, they'd go, wow, this is clinically a new record, and like expanding everything the CIA and the fucking KGB was doing to torture people. Yeah, let's give this guy some laughing gas and put him out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Homie Combat Rev over here could put you in a fucking rear naked choke.
Right.
And choke you out in 3 seconds, and nighty night, bud.
Yep.
You don't even need to pay me, bro.
Yeah.
I'll do it for free.
You'll go out real quick.
And it'll give you a forehead smoochie.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, look at that. Extra service. He says, I wander around at night, envious of the homeless who can sleep on the porches of shops. He said, well, that's nothing to be envious of. He said, I would rather trade places with them just to fall asleep, something I would trade all my possessions for. Well, Combat Rev said he'd choke you out and give you a little forehead smoochie. So.
Yep. Choke you out, give you a little forehead smoochie. You'll be fine. You'll be right as rain. and then he won't be like a story anymore.
You know what? I hear will put him out. Little Bigfoot porn.
Have you ever tried yanking the chicken before going to sleep?
little rubbing the rhubarb, and then out he goes.
You gotta clear your pipes a little bit before going to 90 nights.
Just imagine
Never heard about post-nut clarity, have you?
Just imagine the Jack Slinks guy is jacking your jerkin.
Let's get a GoFundMe together. Get this man a $6,000 robot with some fleshlight arms.
See, it's simple solutions for simple people. That's all it takes. Sometimes you just got to put the old noggins together, and then you get an answer. That's all you need.
We're just a couple of washed up balls.
Just a couple of washed up balls, by God. You kids and your hippie thinking.
You know, maybe he should just take a dip in
The pool of Siloam.
Siloam. God, she's so tripping balls. What do you feed your AI anyways?
I don't know. I think it just knows I'm a little slow.
Siloam.
Well, it's combat rev. All right, we'll have to slow it down for his little infantry brain, you know.
Daddy, where's my shrooms? Siloam.
Let me slow it down for you, since this is the 8th time you've hit the button.
You know what Combat Rev's philosophy on AI is? Get high, stay high. AI, get high, stay high. AI,
Stay high, AI. Oh, you just wrote a new club single.
Yeah, get high, stay high. AI. Salam.
With your band, Washed Up Balls.
Yeah, my band, Washed Up Balls.
Oh,
Yeah. I think it's been a complete program today. I think we put in enough work for today. I don't know about you.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's time for this guy to get rid of his insomnia and get some sleep.
That's right. So let's tell you about tomorrow's program. Tomorrow on the big show, on the big program, Andy McGrillen. No, it's not something that's been added to the McDonald's menu. He's our guest tomorrow, you insensitive pricks. I've just never addressed our audience that way. I just figured I'd try it once. I didn't like it. I'm not going to make it a habit, so don't think I'm going to. Andy McGrillen is with us. We are talking about his brand new book, which is an atlas of different alien, not only alien landings throughout the world, but different alien experiences throughout the world. So, for instance, I know I'm not describing very well. It's called the Atlas of Unidentified Flying Objects. So he explores both famous cases and famous landings. So as you page through the book, it's got not only pictures of these famous cases, but it's got them mapped out throughout the world. So you're able to see just exactly how these famous cases are laid out throughout the world. It's a fascinating book. So we're going to talk to Andy tomorrow about UFO and UAP sightings throughout the world and get the full scope and understand the full scope of aliens and alien landings throughout the world.
Nice.
Yeah. And what exactly is up with all this? So Andy McGrillen tomorrow on the show.
That should be a great show.
Yeah.
The pool of Siloam.
Oh, Siloam.
I was just grabbing my keyboard. That was unintentional.
Sure it was. She's over there thinking about Bigfoot. Like, the pool of Siloam.
I was just going to look up alien abduction romance novels.
Oh my God. Okay, do it real quick before we go, because it's the only one you haven't hit yet. My God.
All right. Amazon.
I've created a monster.
Alien abduction.
And by the way, folks, if you really do want me to get some of these paranormal porn people on the program, you can email me, tim@darknessradio.com. I guess I'll interview one of them if you have someone you want me to interview that I want to interview that you want me to interview. I don't have one off the top of my head.
Bound to the Marek.
Get
an alien abduction romance.
Get out of it. There are?
With 1,190 reviews, chosen by the alien commander, an alien abduction romance. 680 reviews. Warriors Captive, a warrior alien abduction sci-fi romance. Book 4.
Book
with 512 reviews. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Sold to the Nalgar, an alien abduction romance. Stolen from the Earth, book number 3.
I'm sure the people at Opus love that category.
You created a monster. I'm going to have to do this for everything now.
Is there a porn category for it? My God. Say goodnight, Travis.
Good night, everybody. I hope you all get good sleep, and you do not need a rear naked choke and a forehead smoochie, but just the forehead smoochie. Right. If everybody would please grab their cellular devices and or closest object and bring it close to your forehead and prepare for impact. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Good night.
There you go. For Travis Thorpe, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for listening to and watching the best in paranormal podcasting. This has been Darkness Radio.